Hey, hi there. Hola, que bola. It's Gigi. I'm a fan who likes to talk to other fans about the plethora of shit people usually talk about, but mostly TV. Today, we talk to Galia, aka the Dildo Tater, who just happens to be wearing a colorful, pale rainbow unicorn one, fluffy one.
I mean, I was trying to get a dildo one, but I got this one instead. So, it
You
worked.
should have gotten the dildo
Was
one.
There's not one that I could find. Come on.
And then we
I
have
know.
Ronnie, aka Ghosty.
Boo. Still a ghost.
Still a ghost. Oh man.
It's just the concept of you going over to people's houses with a tamal in your hand, just like,
Boo.
Why is it gotta be a tamale, yo?
because you were just eating a tamal for breakfast. That's all I can remember.
You were eating that for breakfast? That's your breakfast?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
delicious.
tamale
What are you
with the fried
talking
egg.
Are you
about?
serious? I
Yeah,
would have
with the
that as a
fresh egg?
snack, not breakfast. That's weird.
Wait, as
it's
a
delicious
snack?
with an egg.
Yeah, of course. With hot sauce? No.
No, it's filling. Like I have breakfast, like
Yeah.
tamales and a fried egg, and I'm
Yeah.
set till dinner time.
Anyway, today we're going to speak to Luce, who wrote a fanfic called Second Chances. It's a fanfic based on Maitino.
Hell yeah.
It's sexy. It's hot.
Hell yeah.
It's, present time. It's raunchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's beautiful.
There's a script.
It's hot.
There's a script.
What's that wink about, man?
What are
I
you?
feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's
All that shit. There's all that shit. But anyway, we're going to get to that in a second. So, first things first. We're still in the motherfucking pandemic, bro.
Mm-hmm.
How are we still
that,
here, bro?
A year later.
A year and some change later, bro.
We started this podcast wrong. We should have our masks on.
It's a long time, bro. I'm just saying, it's been a really, really long time. This pandemic has like, wow.
Yeah. Hey, but on the bright side, you got some vaccines.
Since we're still in this godforsaken situation that we're in, the good part is that we have a new president, guys.
Woo!
I don't know his name, but he's awesome. As long as it's anything but you know who.
Joseph Biden. President Biden is not my first choice, people. Also, he's old as shit.
Yep, older than Ghosty.
Mm-hmm. He is. My God. He is, Ghosty's ancestor. Anyway, but we got some vaccines, so it's okay. He helped the process, so it's okay. People got married.
Yeah, but wait, isn't it married? Wonderful that I'm not hearing anything about our president? Like,
dude,
I don't even know if
it's
that
so
guy's
refreshing.
alive.
I mean, they said some shit about him falling or slipping, going up. Like, they said some shit about him going up the stairs.
He tripped.
Tripping.
I tripped too.
I'm like, he's old, and like anybody trips with fucking uncomfortable ass shoes and like an old red rug that's like probably it's gone through rain and shit. It's like, have some common sense, people. What the fuck? Like, ew, y'all are gross. Grab some common sense and put it in your pocket, bro. The fuck? Put it in your pocket, bro. You make no sense. Bitch, people are gonna fall. It's called It's called life.
Tripping for
Just because
I
he's
fall down
old,
my steps all the time.
Yeah, just because he's like the president doesn't mean he ain't gonna fall. Like, I didn't even care when fucking Trump fell. I just felt happy that he felt some pain because he was an asshole. But like, I wasn't like judging his like capacity to be president by the way he fell. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Shut up. Have some sense. Put it in your pocket. Anyway. I got married via Zoom.
It was the best wedding, Zoom wedding, only Zoom wedding I've attended.
Guys.
I had a tux and everything.
She did.
Yep.
It was great.
And I got outshined by Micah. Was it Micah?
Micah came in with a fucking red bow tie.
Yeah, Micah rocked it.
And she was sitting up.
Shout out to my daughter.
Like Dildo Tater Jr. was representing, bro.
Yeah.
Yep, she definitely was.
Representing. It was one of the best days of my life. I got married.
Except for that small part where somebody had some gum during their vows.
Okay. All right. So I might have had some gum in my mouth before saying my vows or some shit, I think. Whatever. But, my family always comes through for me and tells me, bruh.
I'm going to let you finish.
Spit it out.
I'm going to let you finish, but you need to spit that gum out.
Bro. I had a moment. I'm going to pin my autism on that one, and I'm not going to take blame for it. So I'm just going to leave it there.
No, you were anxious, right? It's a big day.
Right there.
Oh, for sure.
I was very nervous. I was very happy, but people got separated during this whole time that we've been away, which is some shit. But good riddance, bitch, because better things are around the fucking corner, bitch. It's okay.
Yep.
Around the bed.
Hair flip, bitch.
To be more specific.
To be more specific.
So nasty. And Ghosty is still single as fuck.
But we already figured out why. You have to use your no voice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because and I've been with girls or whatever. I'm like, oh, I like what you're wearing. It's not registering, so I gotta say, oh, I like what you're wearing. Just gotta bring it down a bit.
No, you
I don't
still
think
got
that's
it
gonna
wrong.
work, but sure.
Listen to me. Instead of, I like what you're wearing.
Yeah.
I like what you're wearing. No,
yeah.
no.
Go low.
I like what you're wearing. I like what you're wearing. It's different.
It is different.
It's more assertive. You have to be assertive. Like, you like what you see, period. You can't say, oh, but I'm ugly. No, I like what I see.
I like what I see.
No, that doesn't call for a low tone of voice.
Go,
it calls for assertiveness. Now. Smooth, think of Papi Chulo Ronnie version. Just like, ooh, just ghosty version. Just like.
You're like,
rico.
I like what you're
yeah,
wearing.
he does. They do say rico, right? Rico.
That's not gonna get you anywhere, though.
Rico.
I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying it's important that you do this. Okay.
Well, apparently, Luz, the author, has some insight as to why I'm so single.
Oh my God.
Oh, I want to hear that then. I want to hear her opinion.
So yeah, when we get her
I want to hear if she thinks the Maitino ship is sinking or sailing. So, Maite came back in July 2020. They had this podcast that ended in in August 2020.
We don't speak of the podcast.
It
that doesn't exist.
Bruh.
We don't know what that is.
What happened?
It fucking sucked, okay?
We didn't even do part 2 of our own podcast.
I know, that's how bad it was.
No, we couldn't. I remember that. We just couldn't. I'm going to be completely honest. After they stopped it, I had no interest.
Yeah.
Because of the way they went about it, they just kind of turned me off.
Mm-hmm.
I was turned off. Like, I'm more attracted right now to reading the fanfics and such because I like to see where people's creativity takes the story. Mm-hmm. But they turned me off so much. I'm just not that into it. I wasn't, and whatever. And so, you know, the thing is that the Wednesday hashtag, the Maitino, the Keeping Hope
Yeah.
Alive or whatever,
Mhm.
it's still going. Like it's still been going. But now that now that Maitino had their kiss in their runs in Italy and stuff like that, stuff is still coming back, and it's really interesting to see people's reactions, but to first seeing these scenes or first being exposed to it.
Yeah.
They're so innocent too. They have no idea
Years
what's.
ago.
I mean, yeah, well, they know what's coming, but at the same time, to be them.
I feel like they just fucked up the Maitino storyline,
Truth, facts.
which is why we don't even talk about the podcast.
Yeah, let's not talk
I
about
just
that.
don't think they went the right way with the podcast. But it is what it is. Hopefully, we do get more Maitino stuff in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
I doubt it.
We
With
have
every
an
passing moment, I doubt it. But
we have an update from Ile is basically doing theater with her husband, and Aria turned into a mermaid. There was like a video of her in a mermaid suit, like swimming through
her
some like
Instagram.
hoops
Oops.
in a pool. I
fuck?
was like, yo, that is dope. As first of all,
That's
those
dope.
muscles. You are athletic as fuck. First of all,
Can I please get that video? I haven't seen it.
It's on her Instagram. It's the
It's on
first
her
video on her
Instagram.
Instagram.
Dude, it's
Oh,
super
okay.
cool. Like, it's like, wow, you're athletic as fuck. You got muscles.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
she's
holding
a
her
dancer,
breath,
so-
holding her breath because she was going through all the hoops.
Son, yo, that takes a lot. Anyway,
Yep.
Yeah.
so
So
that,
that's what they've been up to.
but I have a note here. Maitino popped my fanfic cherry.
True. That's me. I raised my hand.
So if you can comment or let us know, send us a message or DM Twitter or whatever. What show or ship popped your fanfic cherry?
It did, man. It started off with Gayete, which we've already interviewed Esther, right? Gayete, because
Yep.
Callie made me read that one, and then it was El
I
Hilo
didn't
Rojo.
make you do anything.
Yeah, you did.
I
No, I
didn't.
didn't.
And then it was El Hilo Rojo. Mind you, it's in Spanish, and yes, Spanish was my English or was my language when I was little, but it's not anymore. So
Yeah.
it takes me a minute to read through those Spanish fanfics, but I've gotten a lot better since then because now I've graduated to like Lumelia fanfic in Spanish. But anyway, yeah. So Maitino popped my cherry for a lot of things. Like I met you guys through Maitino. I would have never joined like a group chat over any other one else before, or joined Twitter. I think because of I started being more active on Twitter because of Maitino.
Really?
Yeah, just because it was just a great storyline until they mess it up.
Yeah.
But those are the only two Spanish Maitinos I've read. The other one we're gonna talk about later as we interview the author. But Callie, I know you've read. I think I've seen you comment on La Chica de la 38.
It's pretty good. Well, I mean, that's not the fanfic that popped my virginity or my cherry, whatever.
Which
You
one? Which one for you? Which one was it for you?
I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it was a long time ago. I've been reading fanfiction for a while. It has to do with Swamp Queen, I think.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
some of those fanfictions are good because they completely fucked up the show, in my opinion. So
Okay.
yeah,
Like they're doing a Supergirl right now.
I don't even follow the storyline for that.
I'm speaking for Micah.
She's like trying to hold on to hope, and I'm like, nope, they're not gonna do it. They're just not going to do it.
They're not going to. Sorry, it's not happening.
Oops.
But
It's a great show. Like,
what's good is, there's still fanfic being written, even though we haven't heard from Maitino since August, right? So it's been 9 months. We could have had a baby since the last time we had any type of official Maitino action, right? But thank God for these fanfics and the artists like Sin. Is it Cinny? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name. I actually have one of her pieces in my living room because I loved it.
Yep.
Froglet, I think, is another artist that does it. I know we have so many talented Maitino fans, man. They're keeping this ship a sail. We're like stranded out in the ocean, but I think we're still sailing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
We might be in the Bermuda Triangle right now, but hopefully we'll be found.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because the likes of people still writing the stories, even though like, we haven't heard from them. Like the chica de ocho, right? Cerise Amelie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Callie, you were
Mhm.
mentioning that it's an adaptation of 2 other fics that she mixed together in order to form
Yep.
this one. And
Yeah, it's a pretty cool fic actually.
are you
I
reading it? I'm
the
not reading it yet.
Yeah, I've already like I'm caught up
Okay.
with all the chapters. It's pretty good. Like
What?
she's a really good writer.
Yeah, she wrote. Is she the one who wrote El Hilo?
Yeah, she's the one.
Yeah. Oh man, she got me hard with
Yeah,
El Hilo.
she's a great writer, you know.
Yeah.
So
Very
I'm
visual.
actually really glad that she was able to adapt these 2 other fics into this one because just her style of writing is something else. So, and it's from Maite's point of view, which the original one is from Camila's point of view. So there you go.
Interesante. What about Renacer? Have you read
That one I'm caught up as well with the chapters, but it's like really dramatic. It deals with a lot of trauma, and because she actually in this one Maite actually went to war.
Ooh,
So
that's sexy. Maite went
it's
to war.
complicated. So
Woman
I
in a
mean, she wasn't
uniform.
really, no. You should read it. I feel like you would really like it. But there's a lot of trauma involved in that one, which is good, you know.
Yo, the only Maitino fanfic that I'm reading right now, because I'm surrounded by Lumelia and Barorul fanfic. Yes, Juego de Rose, shout out. I love that thing.
I gotta start reading. I
You got
promise
to,
you
dude.
I
I'm
would.
telling you, it's on chapter 93
I know,
right now.
I
son.
know. Oh
93.
my god, 93 chapters killed me now.
But yeah, so the only room I have for a Maitino fanfic is the English one I'm reading, which is called Second Chances, and it's by Luz. She's actually the one who wrote like El Amor Siempre Triunfa, but it was an English version. So I know you and I talked about it last time, and you're like, no, El Amor was written by somebody else, but there was a Spanish version. They're 2 separate stories, but there was an English version and a Spanish version. So that's how I first discovered her, was reading El Amor Siempre Triunfa, and that was with what happened with Maite when she was gone, and what was she up to in Paris and with her friends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So once I read that, me enganché with her work, and then now I'm reading Second Chances.
So I have this summary that Ghosty wrote down. So y'all know how much we like Ghosty summaries. Ghosty summaries are it. It's how you catch up with everything. You get the juicy details and you get the funnies. You get the good stuff, you get the bad stuff. You get the funnies, you get the saddies. You get the whole thing. All right? Okay. So, from the author that has brought us panty dropping Maitino fluff like El Amor Siempre Triunfa, Say Yes, and now Second Chances. We bring to you live from somewhere in New York, Her Majesty, Su Majestad, Luz. What's up?
Hi, everyone.
Baby!
Woo!
Hi over here. Ooh.
Her Majesty, dang. Who does she think she is?
What's up?
Yeah, I just need to clarify that was a joke.
All right, so first off, hi.
Hi.
How are you? Nice
I'm
to
good. How are
meet
you?
Nice
to meet
for
you.
everybody to hear from you. First question, where are you from?
I am from Rochester, New York.
Oh, so you're from here, from the
I am.
US. Oh,
am.
cool,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
So wait, so how did you stumble into Maitino verse?
That's a really good question. And one I don't totally remember. I think I found it through Juliantina when I was watching some of those clips and then just sort of stumbled into it.
Me too!
Same.
I think the first video clip I saw was Kayate. And so that just sort of,
later, yeah.
I mean, I was hooked, right?
Yeah.
That kiss hooks everybody.
Every time.
Everybody.
Every time. And I have a very weak spot for Spanish lesbians. So there we go.
Gigi's having a moment.
So you have a thing for Hispanic or Latinas or Spanish lesbians
All of the
in
above.
general.
That's right.
Can you speak Spanish?
I can get by. I took it all through high school and some college. So
Also,
a
you have
little
some
bit,
kind
but-
of, you understand what's going on when you watch something, no?
yeah. I mean, not 100%, but I can catch enough to get it. Yeah.
So what got you into what got you into writing about it? Like the fan fiction, like out of all things.
So I was an English major, so I love to write. But I actually got hooked on writing when Pepsi was around. That's kind of my heart ship right there. So I started writing a little bit for them, and then I took about a 10-year break. And then Maitino came along, and I was like, oh, hey.
Hello, how you doing today?
That's right.
Oh, talk about your collaboration. So before you got on the call, I was explaining to people that before Second Chances, which is what we're going to spend a lot talking about, I found you through El Amor Siempre Triunfa, right? And in that, it was like the only English fanfic that I've read in terms of Maitino. And I noticed that you collaborated with, is it Sydney?
Sydney, yeah. That's how I say it, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the art, because I even got one of Sydney's art pieces like in my living room because I freaking loved it. I love the way she portrays the characters on the tablet or whatever. And then I think y'all collaborated together, and some of your storylines or some of your chapters had like her art at the end of it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I actually someone from my group chat sort of suggested it, like, oh, you should, kind of collaborate or whatever. And I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting idea. So I contacted her and asked her if she was willing, and she was like all in. So I would just send her a chapter and literally say, like, do whatever you want, whatever speaks to you. And like 9 times out of 10, she would pick the scene that I was hoping she would pick, which was really weird.
Wow.
But it was actually, it was a ton of fun. It was great. I just loved seeing her stuff.
Yeah, there's a chapter in that one where I think Mike is just like drawing constantly about Camino, like it's all red, right?
Yeah.
And the way she incorporated that visual representation at the end, I was like, well, like I wanted to get that one too, but I was like, I need to chill my horse a little bit because I have too many sin art in my living room.
I mean, it looks like you have some free wall behind you. So.
Yeah, right. I could put it.
So
right.
go pick it up.
Second chance summary, right? Maitino, in 2020 Madrid. Little bow emoji, heart emoji. 15 chapters so far. Chapters alternate between Maite and Camino's point of view. Slow burn. Fire, fire, fire emoji. Like I'm talking caveman style fire building. This thing started back in October. Snail emoji. Turtle emoji. Maite is a professor. Camino is taking prerequisites to be able to apply to art school. All these art emojis and shit. Emilio, bro. Cinta, sis-in-law. Felicia, mom. Sophie, Maite's BFF. And Ildefonso, Camino's BF, are also part of the journey. Special guest appearance, Pepa and Silvia. Pepsi. 2 emojis, one with the brunette, one with the redhead. As a favor to Silvia, who is friends with Felicia, Maite takes on Camino as a student on the side. Which, by the way, she had a attitude about it. Anyway, modern day twist on classic moments such as spilling a drink, clay molding, Camino in B-Day suit, and first kiss, kissy emoji. Spend their moments looking at each other and wondering what it all means, aka gay panic! Maite denying her feelings at all costs. Sophie slaps the gay sense into Maite. gay ass. Sex dreams and sex love shower scene. The shower, the purple devil. I swear the author has video cameras in my bathroom. Eyeballs. Emojis. Camino being brave enough for the both of them. Hearts and all kinds of art emojis. The end.
Wow. This is quite a summary.
For those that have not caught on to Second Chances, there's your summary. Get on it.
The interpreter. Ghosty is the artiste.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so in your writings, was incorporating consent a conscious thing, or it naturally happened? Like, was it a thing where you were like, no, I'm going to make sure that there is clear consent in every scene that it needs it? Or was it something that it was just an obvious thing for you to include in your writing?
I think a little bit of both. I didn't even really realize I was doing it at first. But I also think that that's a huge component of Maite's personality. I think that she would absolutely make sure that Camino is comfortable. Especially in 1914, like knowing what she went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she would absolutely make sure, like, are you okay at every point? But we've talked about this a little too. Like, it's sexy. Like when someone says, yeah, I want to do this with you, like, hello.
It really is really sexy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because kind of like, I don't have to guess. Like, you're telling me, no, I want you to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think modern day Camino is a little more forward, or at least will be a little obvious that this is what she wants to go for. But I still think that's going to be always a component of their relationship.
That makes sense. So these scenes. Okay. All right. So, all right. How do I go? Okay. In order to write these things, do you need a specific ambiance? What does a day of writing look like for you? Because these scenes are, yeah.
They're hot. Just say it. They're hot. All right. They make you feel uncomfortable. It's not something you should be reading in public.
Yep.
And yet so many people completely ignore my warnings and read them in public anyway. So, and I feel like I need to have people like sign disclaimers or something. I'll get yelled at like, hey, I'm at work. I'm like, well, that's not my fault.
Bitch, I just wrote that shit. You went to work by your damn self.
That's right. I just put it out there. And given everyone's different time zones, like, I can't control this. I actually write best in the morning. I'm definitely a morning person. So no, I'm not lighting candles for myself and, playing romantic music.
Let's get it on.
It's usually coffee and sunshine.
Wait, so this changes things because these raunchy scenes, this author is writing that shit while drinking coffee in their PJs in the morning.
Sometimes, yeah. I also do a lot of mental writing at work, so that's even worse because I'm bored. So
you might want to edit that out, Gigi.
Yeah.
Edit that part about the work thing.
No, but I am now starved now.
Are watching this.
No, I'm traumatized now. Even if I take it off, I'm traumatized.
I mean, what would make you feel better?
I don't know.
Listen, I write it at night in lingerie while sipping wine.
Better.
Is that better?
That's better. Okay. Keep that one.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And I've got Marvin Gaye playing in the background.
Good shit.
Brown
All
chicken,
right.
brown cow.
Cool. What was the process of bringing the characters of Acacias to the present? Like, did you have to change specific things, or did you just translate the entire situation to just a new setting, like a modern setting?
Well, I wanted to keep like all the classic moments, right? But I definitely like also wanted to modernize it. So, instead of Camino, spilling wine on her, it's iced coffee when she's, coming to meet her. And I think I had to work on their voices a little bit. I think Camino is the hardest one for me to write in present day. And so, I've told Ron, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a hot second since I was, 21, 22. So that's part of it. And, but I think like she's also kind of more mature than most of your 20 somethings, just because of, she hasn't had the easiest life still. So, she's had to work hard, and she's got a tough mom. I mean, Felicia's a little nicer in 2020, but she's still kind of a taskmaster. So yeah, I definitely struggle with her a little. My day is pretty easy. She comes to me pretty quickly. But I still want to keep their essence. So it's kind of the challenge between modernizing it and still being true to their voices.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
How the next question, I didn't write the next question. This is my disclaimer.
That was Ronnie.
I didn't do it. Okay. I just want to be clear. Are you listening to me? I just need you to understand this.
I fully understand where this question is coming from. Hit me.
How do you write your sex scenes?
How?
Yeah.
I mean, well, like I said, like I literally write them mentally first. It's bad. It's really bad. This is how I perfected my poker face.
But like, okay, so now, do you get inspiration from anywhere?
Inspiration from anywhere.
Other books, the scenes themselves, movies, soap operas.
I think that's all in my head. I mean, I've read a lot of fic, and I kind of know what works and what doesn't.
Because you have to be descriptive in a certain way, but not be. You have to use certain words. You have to be tactful with writing sex scenes, because sometimes they can read to be mechanical. The reason I asked that question is because sometimes they can be either too mechanical, or sometimes they can just read uncomfortable in the bad way. Like I've read sex scenes where I'm just like, did you just watch a porno and just write down the transcript, bitch? Like, what the fuck did you do? Did you not use some romanticism, some imagination, some descriptiveness? Nothing? What did you do? You just wrote down a description of what's happening with the anatomy. That's all you wrote down. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. And I mean, it becomes like playing Twister, right? Like slot A goes into tab B or whatever. So I have a couple rules when writing scenes like that. One, my belief is that people's imagination is better than anything I can write. So provide the roadmap, but don't give the details. I don't care what left hand is doing, what right leg is doing, like figure it out yourselves. You get the general idea. And, kind of once I go through the initial scene, I read through it and make sure it has the right rhythm. Like the words have to have a beat to them. And it sort of has to match what's in the scene, right? Like, are you going for slow and sweet? Are you going for hot and fast? Are you teasing the hell out of each other? Like, make sure that matches what's happening. And that's sort of my rule of thumb. So once I write it and I can go back to it and read it through without making like huge changes or think something's missing here, or this is too much, then I know like it's all set, more or less.
The next question is also not mine. It's not mine.
I understand.
Is that a hint for me?
Do you get turned on when you write these scenes?
I mean, I'm human, so yeah.
No, that's not your response. What was your initial response? From Paula.
From what?
From Paula. When Paula was asked this question.
When she was doing that interview and all she kept saying was, hombre.
Hombre. Hombre.
I mean, yeah, of course. Like, I'm human. But then it sort of becomes like this puzzle to me, and I have to like put that aside, as weird as that may seem. But again, if I leave it and come back to it and it gives me those same feels, then I know I've got something.
Okay, how did say yes come into your mind?
Oh God.
For those of you that don't know, Say Yes. How would you describe it, Kelly? Say
Oh my
Yes is
God.
like a marathon of eternal teasing the fuck out of one another. Maitino, mind you. That's probably how I would describe it. I need to work on that summary.
It's hotness. Hotness everywhere. Oh, man.
And boots.
It's so good though. Yeah.
Some
Damn boots. Those damn boots. They are the bane of my existence. Actually, the idea came because, like, I just wanted to have like a night where they were just getting to be them in Paris. Like, obviously, we all hated the podcast, right? Like, it's awful. They were traumatized, and in reality, you know, they were probably just living a fairly quiet life in Paris and getting to be themselves, and they just had this like, you know, amazing night out and just had fun, and then, you know, it just kind of, and they had more fun. Yeah, that's where the idea came from. How it got to be 7,000 plus words, you got me. So it just wrote itself, unfortunately. It just keeps going.
What do you mean, unfortunately? It was great.
Well, it's a great fanfic. Are you kidding me?
It's as long as hell.
But yeah. Well, and I've gotten some requests that Camino be a little more, you know, forward, and so I think that was a chance to let her be that too.
What was the thought process while writing the last chapter?
So the last chapter, meaning in Second Chances.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chapter 15, right? Mike's point of view. And this is after the first kiss between Camino and Maite.
First of all, I think it's hilarious that you all thought that was going to be Endgame. But
Ah, man.
We were hopeful, right? We were like,
We
it's
were
gonna go right.
hoping. We were hoping that you were going to mix the first kiss and the second kiss and make it
Yeah.
your own. That was my theory with Ronnie. We agreed on that because you had changed some of the stuff. So we were like, okay, that's what she has to make. She can just go the same way that it goes on the soap opera. But you just
did it.
got us.
I didn't. I clearly, all I got was a text message that says, you've disappointed Callie. Maite's been burned, man. You know, and I think if we live long enough, we get hurt really bad, at least a couple times in our lives, right? And so you have to think about, like, this was also her first love, and her first love just essentially told her she ruined her life. And, you know, I think that shapes you. And so she sees, you know, this young woman who is pretty much her, right? She's fallen for her teacher, and she doesn't want her to hurt like that. And she doesn't want to be the cause of it. You know, so I think she's literally just trying with all of her might to keep her safe, because she does love her. That's kind of my theory. And poor Sophie is just trying to do everything she can to convince her otherwise.
Interesting.
Go ahead, Kelly. Ask your next question.
Okay, so what was your, I guess you already kind of answered it, but what was your point of view on the teacher/student relationships and the internal battle that Maite faces due to everything that has gone through her life?
How do I feel about them in general, or theirs?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was our
It
whole
could
argument.
be like either way. Yeah.
That was our whole argument in this chapter, Kelly and I. Because I was
Yeah.
trying to make her see reason. Like, dude, like, she's the older person in this relationship. She has the authority in this relationship. She can't abuse that authority. And mind you, like, right, Beppa or Sylvia recommended her. Like, there's that awkwardness. And then I was trying to make all these scenarios like, Kelly, what if you sent your little sister to Boston to, you know, learn something, and I was her teacher, and then I started hooking up with your little sister.
Ooh.
And she's like, that's fine.
I'm like, I'm fine with that. Take her away.
Literally,
As long as
fine
she's
with
legal,
anything.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I think
That's
Camino's in the easier position, right? Like, she hasn't been hurt that badly. This is her first, real like, oh my God, I really like this person and I really want to be with them. And so she has the advantage of, honestly, young stupidity. Like she doesn't know any better, which is, a blessing and a curse. I'm going to use this weird analogy, but like I've ridden horses pretty much all of my life. And when you watch like young kids go ride horses, they don't care. They have zero idea that they can fall off and get hurt. And they'll just go bombing around. Adults, on the other hand, know very well that they don't bounce anymore. So they ride with more trepidation. And it's kind of the same thing. Maite understands the pain that's out there, and she's so scared of it that, she's sort of painted herself into a corner. So, I mean, thank God that the two of them are like yin and yang, because if they were both one or the other, it probably wouldn't be a great idea. And she has all those things, Camina's not thinking about Sylvia. She doesn't care. But Maite is, like, this is my friend. She sent me this girl to teach her. And what? I'm going to like take advantage of her now? Like, that's all back there. She's kind of an overthinker.
She can teach her, other stuff.
I mean, I'm going to. She's
Callie's not convinced. I told Callie, I'll ask you this question in 20 years when you're the older one.
That's right. Listen, give me a couple more chapters. You'll be happier. Promise.
Ooh.
Yay!
Just let me torture you a couple more chapters and we'll feel different.
Come on, why? Huh?
That means there's going to be more than.
More than what?
More chapters.
Well, yeah, she better not end it with chapter 15. Oh, man, there'd be pitchforks going to Rochester, New York.
Yep.
No, listen, I think, if you're a fanfic reader, you've come across that one fic where, like, you loved it and it was great and you got through it, and then, like, halfway through the author just disappears. And I swear to God that I will not do that to anyone.
Please,
I will
thank
finish it if it's on my deathbed. Like, I will finish this thing. It's much bigger of a monster than I thought it was going to be, but we're doing this. We'll finish it.
I mean, we started in October.
Started in October. I did not think in a million years in April I would still be writing this damn thing.
We started last year.
Yeah, I know. I live and breathe second chances.
So have you finished writing Second Chances, or do you write it chapter by chapter?
It's interesting because I do not usually write in a very linear order. This is kind of an interesting experiment to me because I have to now because I'm posting it as I go. So the very first chapter I wrote actually was the modeling chapter. I don't know, it just came to me. And so I wrote that, and I wrote the first chapter, and I sent it off to a friend and asked her what she thought, and she's like, yeah, absolutely, go for it. So I just started writing it. So the only other chapter I have written that's done is chapter 19. And I know.
What's chapter 19?
Can we get a sneak peek?
Yeah, what's chapter 19?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, come on.
Don't worry about what chapter 19 is. So
You're gonna have to wait.
Yep, you'll have to wait.
Fuck you.
So, but in general, I usually write the ending of fics first, although I haven't in this chapter. But that is more than likely what I do. I don't know. I see the ending of stories before I see the rest of it.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Do you have any other plans for new Maitino content? And this is basically it for now that you've thought of so far.
I have a one shot that I'm working on.
What?
Yep. So yeah, it's fluffy. All right. So someone who will remain nameless sent me a bit of a prompt, and off I went. If a prompt sticks in my head long enough, I know it's just I can't get rid of it until I write it. So started writing it. Classic example of not writing in any particular order. Ronnie can attest to this. So I've sent her segments of it, and it has come in bits and pieces. But I think people will enjoy it. But dear God, when it comes out, do not read it at work or in public, please. Please. I do not want to be responsible.
Anyway, Luce, thank you so much for coming through.
Absolutely.
Sorry, that was my wife, the other Luce. She fell for it again. Thank you so much for coming through.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was fun. I just got my first COVID shot this morning, so I'm just chilling.
Please don't die.
I will.
Oh my God, there's nothing. So before you jumped on, we were talking about the vaccines, and Gigi's reluctant to get it. She's waiting for like the first version to come out and see the side effects. What are they?
Like a video game.
Like a video game. Like,
Are you waiting for like 2.0 or?
Yeah, she's waiting for 2.0.
Man, go get it. Just go get vaccinated.
I'm paranoid because of my current health status. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But
so far my arm's just a little sore, but that's it.
Yeah, it's that second one is brutal.
is that your writing arm?
Oh, is that your writing arm?
No, I'm left-handed. So.
Look at Gigi's eyes.
No, I'm left-handed, so the shot was in my right arm.
Ah, it worked out.
Yeah.
Being left-handed.
That's so funny. Gigi's eyes was like.
She was freaking out there for a second.
Hey, but wait, before you leave, because now I'm dying to know. We were also talking about the reasons why I'm still single as fuck. And you had mentioned that you had some insight.
I mean, maybe our standards are a little high.
Anyway, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I had a good
That's so rude.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Bye.